Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices for Friday, July the 9th, and starting with the S&P here. So we're looking at, just get the bigger picture here, 1 and 2 here, and going up for wave 3 here. And in that wave 3 here, we're looking for 5 waves of 1 and 2, and 3 and 4, and 5 here. And between 4 and 5, we're looking for 5 waves of the next smaller degree, which is 1 and 2, and 3 and 4 and 5. And between 2 and 3 here, we're looking for 5 waves as 1 and 2, and 3 and 4 and 5. So we are still in this wave 1 and 2 in this particular area here. So let's drill into that. We were working on this yesterday, but I didn't quite get it right, and I need to look at it today in 2 different ways, because wave 2 here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to this point as wave 1, and wave 2 coming back here. And secondly, the wave 2 here, the 50-60% retracement level is down here. So I'm a little concerned that that the move up here may just be the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave down into this space, and then move up from there. So we're going to need some solutions for that and some tactics. So that's what we'll talk about today, because the market can just push straight up from here. And secondly, the market can pull back to this space here first. As I mentioned before, is that Thursday is normally the bear day and Friday is normally the bullish day. So if that's the case, we're halfway through that at the moment. If Thursday, well, Thursday obviously was bearish. If Friday closes strong, reasonably firm, then it will follow through on the Monday and the Tuesday. If it closes lower, then it presents a different case. Now, the other point here too that I wanted to mention in terms of patterns at this particular level at 4,300, the 300 is really important, the number 3, because it's telling me that we're part of group 1, so 100, 200, and 300 of the 4,000 here. I'm not sure where that's gone, so we'll put that, not that one, this one, we'll pop that back there, and we'll just put that in, and that's a medium level, and don't need that. So a medium of 4,000 is the number that we're working with, and we've got 1, 2, and 3. And if we find support on top of number 3 here, then that sets the target for the next level, which is 5. So we're building the golden mean, or the golden ratio, in the price here as a ratio as 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 61.8%. The further that goes out. The other point that I wanted to mention is that because we didn't get a classic trading levels pattern here, we didn't actually react from here. We got a very small one, but not big enough for this number. So the market, we could say, didn't really stop, it just kept on moving through. So normally what I find with that is the overshoot pattern, and it looks a bit like this here. So it doesn't stop at the level, it just goes straight through. And just as a rule of thumb, just roughly speaking, normally the distance above that it goes is normally roughly the distance below it goes as well. So we could be looking at this particular pattern here for this market. So that would be the overshoot, just traveling to the upside and then going an A and a B and a C down through to here. So as I mentioned, we want to talk about both of these. You know, if this moves up here, where can we actually go long from this particular point in time? So that's what we'll do. And also I've got a slightly different count for this top here as well. That so first, this particular pattern here, we could look at this with wave 1 at the top here. I have to say, we don't really have a very nice 5-wave structure here. It counts better as a corrective structure, but we'll look at that in a moment. This one's nice as an ABC. Or even, in fact, that can count as 5 waves as well. We'll better look at that on the tick chart. But the point of looking at this particular chart was really just to take that top there and that bottom there and put in our 50-60% retracement level, which we're there now, so to speak. And then once we've done that, what we do is we look towards the price. We look for the closest, largest number. We have an understanding of price. So we know that we're working with 4.3. The next number up is 4.4. Between those two, this is a minor level, and these are sub-levels, the next degree smaller. So we've got 10, 20, and 30. 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8 here, and plus we've got group 2, 65, and 72 in here for this. So once again, we know that this is a minor group 1, this top here, so that's important. But the next degree smaller, we got 1, 2, 3 here. This is also 3 as well. The 30 is the important point here. That's the top of subgroup 1. So if we get a classic trading levels pattern sitting on top of that, we can use that to go long. So the classic trading levels pattern would look like this. We want to see it move up to the 30 and then pull back and then create the first high above the level that could go to 40 or 45, somewhere around there, and then pull back and then find support, and then we can use that high and this high here to go long on. So that would be the trade setup. There could be a variation on that pattern, and it could be like this, where it doesn't drop below the level, or we may see reoccurring patterns occur and we may get something like this at the level. But we've already sort of moved from this point, so it won't be that one, it'll be that one or that one in that case, because we've already reacted from the level here in that case. So in terms of being bullish here, let's just say the market's going to move straight up from here, then we'd look at this as wave 1 and 2 here. So we would look at this here, just bear with me for a moment. This could come up to 40 or 45 or something of that nature, and then fold back and give us that sort of ABC sort of pattern here, and then move up again from that point. So if you can see that, while you then you can go long at that point. If you can't get the second one, then the one at the top is the one that you're looking at, and you may be able to get a better picture than this. You can refine this a lot. You can go into, we normally work with 100 ticks and 20 ticks sometimes, but you can go down to 10 ticks and 5 ticks and count all this out and get it spot on, in real time. So yeah, plenty of room for improvement. But look, that really solves the problem of getting support on 4330. That's the setup for the long trade. Will that happen? I really don't know. The other point to this is that we can come down here further for wave 2. And in this instance here, we could look at this being roughly the same size here as wave A and wave B, having some sort of relationship in that point. And also too, the move down here would be in 5 waves. So you should be able to count it reasonably well. Yeah, it'll just be 5 waves. So yeah, if you can't count it and the market comes down below here somewhere, then you can buy it back over here for this. So if you can't get it down at the bottom, you may be able to get the little classic trading levels pattern sitting on this level here somewhere, catching it over on this point. But otherwise you could get it down here somewhere. Just understand where you are down here. So we can just copy that horizontal line, put that in there, the 72 number. So we've got 65 here roughly. Maybe it's not right. 65, 72, and 80. That will probably be the support, but it could spike down a bit lower than that. I mean, if it does spike down, this is the 50 here. If it spikes below the 50, let's just say that that's the case, then you'd want to see a classic trading levels pattern sitting on top of the 50, and 5 is the second strongest number. So something of this nature anyway. And yeah, you can pick it up down at this point here. So we're in a bullish market. We're just looking for the right setup. So let's just take stock here. For in this case here, we've got wave 1 here, an A and a B and a C wave moving back down, and these would be the setups. You can also use group 2 to build in on as well, all the levels. And the other one I've got. I think I've got it on the 15-minute and the tick chart. We'll just go in and have a look. Yeah, this is slightly different, and I kind of like this one a little bit too, because the only thing I don't like about it is that the wave B is made a move above here as an expanded flat, but it doesn't count very nicely as 5 waves up here. I mean, maybe we could go 1 and 2 here and 3 here and forget about the spike down here as 4 in here and then going up for 5 here and have 5 waves up here. But because of that spike, it just sort of counts as an A, B, C to here as the A wave, and then the B wave and the C wave. So it looks like it's in 3 waves. But it's a bit unusual to have that within a wave 2. Possible. It's not, you know, it's not out of it, but it's just not quite normal. So that could mean that if that is an expanded flat, maybe this needs to be some sort of wave 4 or something, and I've got the count wrong. But this is a count here as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, and then we need to take that high out here. So we'll look for the same thing. We need a classic trading levels pattern sitting on this level here. If we don't get this, well, then the market's just going to go lower. It's simple as that. And that would be support on the 61.8%. If we just go to the tick chart and just investigate this a little further, you can see it a little bit clearer. And also the interesting thing too is that this is 100 ticks. So over here, if I put wave 1 over here, I can see that we got 5 waves in this little move here. So that really gives this one as 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and 5 here. And then this move here becomes quite obvious as an ABC, doesn't it? I'm not sure how this ends here, but I can see that we've got, this is definitely impulsive. I'm just unsure about some of this vibration here for this, which could make it quite easily corrective as an A and a B and a C wave up here. But I'm not getting 5 waves in this little move here, by the way. So if I come over here, that's in 3 waves. So that's a 4th wave. And so this would be wave 1 and 2 here, and I think wave 3 is all the way down to here, and then 4 and 5 here. So I'm thinking that this can be corrective here as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for this as the wave 2. And if you wanted to get really close to the market, you could go into here, because from the top to the bottom here, that would be well into the 61.8% at that point. So you could actually go long from that top there and then looking to add further into this space here as well for that. So let's just see. I mean, we look for, in our bullish weekly cycle, we look for Thursday to be bearish and Friday to be bullish. So let's see, if you see strength, then you know that you need to go long, and you'll be going long for like 3 or 4 days. In a way, there'll be corrective moves later on in the piece. You know, they normally come in on the Tuesday morning, and then the market gets choppy on the Wednesday, and, you know, Thursday gets a bit out of hand, as it did yesterday. So that's sort of where we are for the S&P 500. The Russell, I'm not too sure. I haven't had time to ponder it. It's come down a bit too far for what I like, but I was thinking we could have it still with wave 4 here as wave 1 and an A and a B and a C for wave 2, but I'm not really that happy with that. So I'll just sort of see how this plays out. If I get 5 waves down here, then I can look at it as wave 2, as a C wave, as an A and a B and a C wave. But if I only get these 3 waves down here, then I'm going to have to put wave 4 in here, because I'll have to call that an E wave at that point and bring all this across here to a larger triangle. Yeah, and then we will just look, if that becomes wave 4 here, then we'd just be looking for a very simple 5 wave structure to the upside here, not going very far at all. So I'm a little bit unsure about this one, but we don't have a long trade in here as such. So yeah, I'll just leave that. And the Nasdaq. So the first thing I want to point out with the Nasdaq, this is a 4-hour chart. We can see that the stochastics down here is giving a buying signal. And the market's come down quite close. It didn't get to 500, but it got quite close. So that means that there's good support at the 500. Now, one of the things here, I want to go back and check this trend here. There's a few wobbly bits in it, but I could look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here and put this wave 5 of 3 here. But then for a wave 4 here, I can put that in because it's pulled back to the wave 4 of 1 less degree, but it just seems a little bit small. So I'm a bit curious about it. So I don't know if, I'm not quite sure. I just need to ponder that, which I'll do on the weekend for that. Yeah, but yeah, still further to go up. We're hit number 8 here, so 14,800, and 8, as you may know, I call as a profit-taking number. I don't know why I do that, but it's just every time the market sees number 8, I always see the bids get hit. So even in that little small bit, in that first bit there, so I always call 8 a profit-taking number. It's pretty much the third strongest number. So we've got 1, then 5, then 8, and 3. Those numbers. Sort of, anyway, I'm just still working on that. It's taken a few years, but just observation. So yeah, I don't see any problem with this, but with the S&P 500, if we see that it goes down for wave C of 2, then we could end up seeing this come back down in this space as well. But otherwise, just popping to the upside for this. So you can use the S&P 500 tactics to establish what's happening in the Nasdaq, so I don't need to go into that, but we should be, it's just natural to be profit taking at number 8, and that's done. It'll come down to the next level, so that's kind of done to a point. We'll see about that, and then the next push to the upside. Alrighty, that's taken up a little bit of time, so I'll just whip through the stocks pretty swiftly. Alrighty, cheers. So starting with Tesla here, I've had to rearrange the count a little bit because it's pulled back from the low here to this high here. It's pulled back to the 61.8%. It hit the 61.8% here as well from wave B to C here, coming back up, and we're left really with 3 waves here. So it is possible that this can be an A and a B and a C wave through to here, and then down for 1 and back for 2 and down for 3, 4, 5 and move lower here. So we need to be a little bit careful about that. So 2 things on the bearish note is that if this low here was breached, because that's at the 61.8% sitting on that trend line from this low here to this high here, if that's breached, then obviously we're going to be bearish at that point. And secondly, we need to look at from the high here to the low here, we need to look at the 61.8% up here as well, because if this was going to rally up here and then move down, that's where it would turn from. So all in all, we're looking at it being bullish. We're looking for a long trade. We're looking for support on the 650 as we were looking for yesterday. It just went down a little bit further than I thought. But going into the tick chart here for a moment, let's just get a bit more data here. So I've counted this a little bit differently here. So off the low of 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 into here, as 1, 2, 3, A, B, C here for 4, 5 of 1 and 2, all the way up for 3 here, for 4 here, and 5 here for this, and bringing this down for wave 2 here. I know that this can be counted in a couple of different ways because it just really depends if you include this spike or you don't include that spike there. So it can be counted in 2 different ways. Yesterday we were looking for, see, it's pulled down nicely to the 61.8%. So yesterday we were looking for a setup, well, hopefully for the Friday, to have a look for a setup on the 650, which is a medium level. So that's really our focus at this point in time. So I can clean this up a little bit here. Now, you may have gone long already based on this one here, and that's plausible, so we could just put that across here. We could also, this has still got further to go up here. I can see that we've got little, from this low here, we've got, if that's an A and a B and a C here, we need to be mindful of that as well. It didn't make a new low, so it could be up for 1 here and back for 2 here, and then up for 1 and back for 2 and 3, 4. So I can see that it's got little further to move up here, so it would move up to this one and possibly one more here as well. So it could get away on us a little bit before coming back. Let's just check on this a little bit. Let's just count this here. Might not be the right degree of structure here, but it will give us a starting point. So that's 5 waves up there. And then this is 5 waves, so we could look at this as being wave 3, and like I mentioned, it could be a different structure here. Might just go in and check on that in a moment. And then I can assume that this would be a wave 3 here, and then a shallow wave 4 to come back into play. Oops, daisy. And then wave 5 up here for that. Oops. So yeah, so that would give us this wave 4 here, if that was going to be the case. That could pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, which is this one here, and then move along from that one. So there may be this opportunity to move in here again as well for this. But we've just got to be careful it just doesn't, continue to run. But it does look like it's got 5 waves. So 1, 2, 3. Don't need that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I suppose we could look at it too, just on the bearish side now for a moment, as wave C here. So an A wave here, a B wave here, and 5 waves up here for wave C. That's the trap. And this box here, that's the 50-60% retracement level as well. Also in here, we've got group 2. So we've got a medium level here, and group 2 is 65, 72, and then 80 here. So really we want to see the market get support in that space. So getting support on 65, like a nice support in this level, that lifts it up into that space at that point. That's what you're looking for. So from the top here, down here, I mean, it looks quite impulsive, doesn't it? So if it was going to top and turn, this is where it would be at this point here. So being long here, you wouldn't want to overdo it. You really want to start building. You could get a trade, one trade in here, maybe on the 65 if you can see it sitting in there as support, but definitely you'd want to be on support of 72 here and 80 building on that side. So if Tesla interests you, then you can go long here at the moment, and we may cop that back. I'll just check on that on 20 ticks on that 650 area here. Yeah, that move up there does appear to be in 3 waves. It's not like I've got a nice 5 wave structure down here either. And this one, a bit hard to read that. But definitely here we've got 1 and 2 here, and then we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So I can see that we're going to be going, and that's corrective. So that will be 4, that will be 5, and that will be 4 and 5. That's just that run here. So that's that run to that point. Yeah. Okay, let's move along. And Facebook, we're looking at, on the daily chart here, we're looking from wave 4 here. We're looking at wave 1 and 2 here, and then up for wave 3 and 4 here. And between 2 and 3, we're looking for 5 waves of 1 and 2 here, and 3 in green, and 4 and 5. Between 2 and 3, we're looking for 5 waves. So I've got this as wave 1 and 2, and 3 and 4 and 5. So that's where we are. So probably a little bit more softness in here before we see a pick-up into wave 3 here. So from wave 2 to wave 3, if we pick this up on the tick chart from blue wave 2 here, you'll see it a bit clearer. So blue wave 2 here, we've got wave 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave here, fourth wave, fifth wave, and ABC for wave 2. And then I've just had to rearrange this a little bit up here. So this is all impulsive to here, so 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and looking at this as wave 5 here as wave 1 here. So wave 1 back to wave 2 here into this box here to the 340 area is what we're looking at. And we can look at this as the A wave, the B wave, and then down for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and looking for one more move down into wave 5 here. I could probably see that we could put wave 5 over here for this and look at this as 1, and I've got this as, if we just blow this up a little bit here, I've got this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So looking at this in terms of a bit of a, what's the name here, a bit of an angle, so 1 and 2, but we could look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 here, and then an ABC for the fourth, and then down for the fifth. If that is the case, and we've got the low in place here, then this number here becomes the setup for any long trades at that point. So you'd need a classic trading levels pattern at that point. I mean, a wave 4 shouldn't come back above this 350 here, so that's where you get it there. Otherwise, we'll look for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here to finish off, and then a move up from that point. So we did have a bit of a green line through here yesterday, so we can do that again here, as long as that stays intact here. And we're picking, you know, we're looking for this down here, not this one here, because if it breaks out here, pick it up here. Okay, otherwise we'll pick it up there for that. And square, we're looking at wave 3 over here with an A and a B and a C wave here for wave 4. So this is all going okay. We've had a bit of a sharp drop here. I can look at this in two different ways. We can look at it as well, both of them are bullish, of course, but 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. And we should find good support on top of group 1 here. So from 200, 1, 2, and 3, 10, 20, 30. So we normally get a bounce off that. We can see that the closing price has bounced off that. And that's quite close to the 50% retracement level as well for that particular wave 2. It's also possible too to count this up here as 1 up here and having wave 2 come back a little bit further in this case. So I'll just go to the tick chart to take a look at that possibility as well. So in that case, if I use, because this was always a contention here, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then going up for 5, having the extension in 5, which is a bit of a long shot, I have to say, but I just got to look at both counts. If that was the case, then the 50-60% retracement level is back down here at 220. If I just mention what I did before, then just copy this, then that would go in here. So that from that low here, forgetting about this and putting wave 4 over here and looking at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here, which kind of makes sense really. So, but I think we'll find good support on top of the 230, so we'll just wait here. We should have a position in here somewhere, and we're looking for another position to get on top of support over here somewhere. So this counts. I think I'll just wait for this. So let's just see if we get another little move down. I mean, if the market moves up strongly, it would have to move up past the 50-60% retracement level, which is covering this gap up here. So that would need to be, so we don't need to do anything just yet for this. If it pulls back down further and we can see a nice setup there, well, then we'll buy it again down the bottom here further. If we can see, for instance, that we get a nice A and then a B and then 5 waves for the C wave here, then we can go in and pick it up at lower ground here and still add up here later. It's just that we need to work through this situation. We knew that there would be a reaction from here. It's come back and done the right thing. It normally just comes back to the 230 and has a bounce and then starts to move up from there. And so we've got really the arrival here, and now we've got a decent reaction, and now we're looking for the first high above the level at that point, you know. So, yeah, pretty much all good there. And what's this one? Apple. So with Apple here, let's just tighten things up a little bit. So we were looking for that wave 5 here yesterday. So that's nicely in, and then wave 4 can pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. That move down here looks a little bit impulsive, doesn't it? It looks like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. You know, it could end up being an A wave and a B wave and a C wave here, but we'll just see, because this move up here is also in 3 waves as well here. So that could be looked at as impulsive. We'll just see. It could just, it could certainly just continue to go to the upside. Either way, it's not going to bother us. And the other way would be that it would come back down here and then move off. So there, it's 2 options at that point, but no real change here, and we want to take a percentage at that point. I don't need to go into the big account for this at the moment. So yeah, in a way, it's just testing 140. That's where it's sort of at, and if you wanted to go long, you can go long above this little high here. Because the 140 here, we've got 1, 2, and 3, which is group 1, and really it's just trying to find support here. It could fail. If it fails, that means that number 2 here, 142, the number 2 within group 1, if that becomes the resistance, then it'll be pulled down to the 40 at that point. But that could easily be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and moving up off that way. It just depends on how you count this here. So I know with stocks like this, you know, when they get a bit spiky, you've got to be a bit philosophical about them as well. Let's just check on this. So from that high down to here, see, yeah, it doesn't really help us, because we'd be looking for 38.2, 40%. For wave 4, it's gone to 50, which is acceptable, and it's just come back up and tested this and the 143 number and so on. So it could be a wave 4, but it's close enough at 50 to be a wave B as well, isn't it? So, but that does present a nice strong third wave here. But yeah, just got to be a little bit sort of cautious. But look, in the bigger picture scheme of things, not a drama. And Alphabet sitting there next, so we'll look at that. I just don't know about this one here. You know what I mean? I don't know if we should put wave 1 over here for that. I'll just copy that and put that there for the time being. I mean, it just looks like a wave 4 going sideways here. That bothers me as well. But apart from that, everything's going according to plan. I think we'd probably have to look at this as 1 and 2, and then a 1 and 2 of a different degree. So I might just bring that back here, and we'll just move that out of the way, and we'll put this one here and this one here, and we'll put that a bit further up, and we'll put that one there, and that one there, and that one over here for that third wave here, and a fourth wave and fifth wave at that point. Just see how that sort of plays out a little bit better. And one of the reasons I'm doing that for, because if we count this up here as 5 waves, that means that if we're looking for, just get these tools working, if we're looking for this, just clear these out of the way for a second, because they will just all push across back here probably. Yeah, look, what I was thinking is from this high to this low here, roughly speaking, then if that's wave 1, then we would want wave 3 to be longer. That's all. So I'll just leave that back over here, just so we've got a little bit of a guide stick, not a big deal. But yeah, so that would have to take us back up into this level up here, which brings us up into well, 2.8, that's important, and then we've got group 2, which is 65, 2,650, and then the 72 in here, which will be, I don't mind going $720, so 720 is what we're looking for, but 272 is close enough there. So that's group 2. We'll fix that up later. That's our next set of levels once we're finished with the 250 here. But really, yeah, as I mentioned before, this is, you'd normally expect a bigger, a bigger correction, more time spent at this level here. But because we're in wave 2, wave 3 of 3 here, we're in a pretty powerful point of the trend, not like it's, but it's not really displaying of power. It is in this little bit here, so we'll have to be careful. And this could get more, this wave 4 could get more complicated as well, so just be a little bit mindful of that as well. Not that it will come much lower. In fact, it shouldn't come much lower at all, but it could sort of give some sort of 3-wave move or something, get a bit sticky here for that. Okay, so Amazon. I'll just tidy this up a little bit. So we're looking for that wave 4. We're looking for this wave. That looks like a little wave 4 here. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we'll probably pop to 3.8, and because we're at 8, that's going to be a profit-taking number. So that could send us back to but we're in group 2 here, 65, 72, and 80. So we're in that space, and then we can put wave 5 of 3 over here. I'll leave this stop out of the way. Yeah, but we're cruising here. All's good in the world. Still, wave 3 is a bit short, isn't it? Can't see what I've done wrong though. I'll just check on that. There's not much that can go wrong here with this particular structure. It's pretty simple. Okay. Sometimes it's a bit illusionary, So yeah, the time that finishes off up there, that will be fine. Because otherwise I was thinking that I might have to call this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here as wave 1 over here, and then wave 2 over here. But that would get us too excited. And we try to be accountants here when we're working with money, non-emotional. Stick to the facts as best we can in this emotional world, but once your money goes into the market, then you go in too. And as the market goes up and down, so will you. So it's a bit tricky to be bit tricky to be steady, no matter who you are. Okay, so that's it, folks. Well, thanks for tuning in. Just to recap a little bit, everything seems to be okay. We're sort of trending higher. The main trend is continuing to the upside, and yeah, we just work things through the levels. So less is more, and keep your stops out the way. Alrighty, cheers.